Hello everyone, Paul here, and welcome along to my latest project video. This week I have turned a rather wet oak platter, I suppose is the proper name for it. I have taken the walls down to probably, well, literally the whole thing down to, I think it's most thickest from the very foot to the base there. Feels like probably about 3mm, and on the edges there it's down to probably about 1.5, 2mm. So I see Carl Jacobson do something similar quite a while ago on one of his videos, where he turned a wet piece of wood and he took it down nice and thin like this. I'm not quite sure whether he took it quite so thin, and he just let it air dry in a rather sort of moist environment for it to dry out, and as far as I'm aware it didn't crack. So I thought I'd have a go at something similar. I mean, the original blank, I mean, as you probably see on the video, as you can see, I mean, that's the top half that I did actually cut off, and it's really, as you can see, the cracks had really gone right through it. But on one, not to waste wood, so I did have a go at slowly parting it off and then just cutting it off by handsaw in the end, because even if that cracks more, when it eventually does dry out, I'm sure it can be useful for something. So that will go back on the shelf. Turning this, it was actually quite fun. It's the first time I've properly used my bowl gouge. And it was really nice. Really pleased I went for it. I did have worries that I'd gone for the large version, which is about 6 inches longer than the standard one, and I think I did use it on the last project, and it did feel rather awkward being so big, but there again I was turning something quite small. But turning this with the bowl gouge, it just felt totally natural, even though it was so long. It did fit very well, so I'm really pleased with that now. This has already started warping, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how it goes. I mean, I noticed that when I came to the final sort of Yorkshire Grit and polishing on the inside, that there was already quite a wobble on the lip there, and it was securely held in the chuck. It's obviously because I took it so thin. And I did take light cuts towards the end just to even it out, and like I say, it has already started warping anyway. I mean, I can see that from here straight away now, so it will be interesting to see how that goes, to whether it does crack. Now I've given it a couple of 3 coats of sanding sealer, Yorkshire Grit and Wood Wax 22. So again, I'm just wondering, I mean, whether anybody's got any thoughts on this. I mean, yes, normally when you turn something down so thin and let it all air dry, because it's all a similar sort of thickness, and like I say, in Carl Jacobson's video, it didn't crack or anything like that. Oak may well be totally different, but as well, obviously giving it the Yorkshire Grit, which has got, I think, beeswax and lime juice and all sorts in it, and then Wood Wax 22 on top, will that help stabilise it a bit more, so the natural drying process is slowed a little bit? It'll be interesting to see. So a good fun project. It sits nice and flat, and as again you'll see, certainly the reason for wearing a face mask, when I did turn this around on the chuck, and I forget what the proper term is, a compression chuck, you'll see that it did actually fly off, and just narrowly missed me. Wasn't going fast. I mean, I deliberately just put it on a low speed because I knew that I was going to take it down to a fairly small nub on there, and I suppose with it being not fully dried, that just broke away, and actually it flew under me rack, and it took me a little while to try and find in the first place. So it's surprising where they do fly. So yes, certainly always wear at least eye protection, if not a face mask. Doesn't matter what you're doing, it's just not worth the risk. So yes, really pleased in doing that. Today is actually Sunday the 11th of December, and I don't know, it's going to probably be towards next weekend that I actually get this video compiled and put up online. My mother is coming to stay from next weekend for over Christmas, so this could well be my last project video before Christmas. However, I do have several pens to make for Christmas presents, which I'm going to hopefully be doing Thursday, Friday. I will see if I can do some form of a video, whether it's clips or something like that, just to put something else extra up on YouTube, just for over Christmas. So, but if this is my last one, I certainly wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. And I hope Santa brings you lots of goodies for your workshop. So thanks a lot for watching. Bye.